That was insane.
Yeah, it was insane, mate. You know, once it got caught, mate, from the early doors, we said whoever learned the first punch, they're going to win. And he done that, mate. And he done that, and he done it well.
Connor, what'd you think?
Crazy.
Connor, my guy.
Yes, bro. Wild, man.
What went wrong for AJ?
I'm not sure I stayed for him in his team to find out, but that was wild. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But listen, when you've got big punches in there, anything can happen. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them things, man. It's crazy.
Where does AJ go from here?
Congrats, bro.
Does he beat Usyk in a rematch? Does he beat Fury if they were to fight?
Wait, Dubois fought Usyk?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, with the low blow.
Yeah.
It's the heavyweight division, man. You guys can all fight each other, beat each other. One can beat one, the other one can't beat. It's just...
I'm lost for words. Daniel said he was going to knock him out in the 6th round. He did it in the 5th. And I'm so happy because I want to go to bed.
Stan, you said it was... Stan, you said it was your son. You said it was your son's destiny.
This is his destiny. That's why we came out with Daniel in the Lions Den. That's why we came out with Daniel in the Lions Den. I'm a great believer. I'm a great believer. I've got a lot of faith. And I knew tonight was Daniel's night.
He was so
because
dominant.
Everyone was saying he was going to get knocked out. And now they all got quiet and left the venue in 10 seconds.
You know what? On that note, I'll let you finish. Yeah. Congratulations, yeah?
Opponent, but credit to him and his team. We rolled the dice at success and we come up short. But I want to say, everyone in Wembley, I appreciate you coming out this evening. You know I'm pissed. You know I'm ready to kick off in the ring, but I'm going to keep my cool and keep very professional and give the respect to my opponent.
I'm sure he'll exercise that rematch clause. I mean, I think that's a given, but he'll need a rest. And it's a dangerous fight. This guy's growing in confidence all the time. But he'll believe he can hurt Dubois. He'll believe he can beat him. But full credit to Daniel Dubois. He deserves all the credit tonight. It was a great performance from Daniel.
You know, behind the scenes, to work with my dad, you know, all my family and, you know, my strong team here, they've helped me get through this. So God bless you all, man.
Were you impressed with Daniel Dubois?
Sorry?
Were you impressed with Daniel Dubois tonight? Good performance?
Yes, good performance.
How much are you looking forward to the Tyson Fury fight in December?
I don't think about it because I think only my prepare. My wife, my child.
Did you speak to Tyson tonight?
Terence, was it a shock what you watched?
No, not at all. I always stated that the better man was going to win today, and Dubois was the better man. He capitalized on Joshua's faults, and he won the fight.
Think, man, crazy result, right?
It was a great fight. I think Joshua, you know, got overconfident.
Yeah.
You know, he hurt him. He hurt him with a shot and went for the kill, but he forgot about his defense and forgot, you know what I mean, about the fundamentals.
What would you like to see each do? Where does Joshua go from here, bud? Where does Dubois go from here?
I don't know.
Cut it off. Round one, obviously Joshua floored in that first round. Your thoughts on that?
Hey, he came to fight, and you can see it in his eyes. He wasn't leaving out the ring without that victory.
Can Joshua come back from this?
I don't know. Joshua been in a lot of wars. He fought a lot of great fighters. I think he can, but you know it's going to be tough because he got a lot of wear and tear on his body coming into this fight.
It's heavyweight boxing, boys. It happens. You get knocked spark out. It could have been me, it could have been you, it could have been anybody. In the heavyweight division, it's what happens. One punch away from being smashed, knocked out.
What went wrong, you feel, with the game plan that Joshua had in that
I think
first round?
what went wrong is what always goes wrong in heavyweight boxing. Good right hand on the end of the chin. And that was it.
Can he come back from this, Tyson?
I don't know. Listen, it's up to the man and whatever he wants to do. If he's got a good ambition to come back again and do what he's got to do, I don't know. Listen, he'll have to make his own decisions. He's a big boy, isn't he?
What did you really think? You didn't give us your opinion earlier, but generally, art of arts, what did you think was going to happen tonight?
I thought it was a 50-50 fight. God's honest truth.
Got belief in him, and I said from the beginning the tactics of this fight was to put the other guy on the back foot, and it's about the back. It was going to be about who can control the fight with a jab. Daniel did that from the first bell, and that was the key to it. And as I said, in plenty of interviews with him, I said the fighter that goes on the back foot will get beat.
Yeah, you did say who lands the first shot, and Daniel really was the boss from the first round frame.
He was, but he had to enter. He had to go and stamp his authority on the fight, and that's what he did. He stamped his authority.
Dillian, did that surprise you that tonight?
No, I'm not surprised. Heavyweight boxing, mate.
What do you make of Daniel Dubois and how he's got on the past few years? He's really sort of...
Done really good. Thank you so much.
Right. Pick this back up. Obviously, Dubois has been through a lot in his career. When you see a story like this, obviously you've been through your ups and downs as well. Just heavyweight boxing. None of this surprise you tonight, or?
No. It's heavyweight boxing. You got two guys who can punch. They're massive punches. So, you know, these things can happen.
Yeah.
What do you think of the fight, bro?
Man, it's a boxing. It's the boxing game. It's a fight game. It's a heavyweight division. Anything can happen.
What went wrong for AJ, man?
Man, one punch can change the whole night.
Yeah. You know, just overall, how'd you feel Dubois fought in there?
He fought a good fight. He won.
Yeah.
He knocked him out when he was hurt, so he fought a good fight.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
What went wrong for
Just
AJ, in your opinion?
I said to Joe Cordine, and that's why I said he needs to throw some backhands. He threw a backhand, and then the minute the fight was over, unbelievable.
Wow. So, in your opinion, where does AJ go from here, Ricky? Where do you want to see
I'd like to see him retire as a friend.
Yeah?
I don't want to, you know, he's been a two-time world champion. He's done the country proud. I'd like to see him hang his gloves up and enjoy his retirement.
Not just the fight, but the final press conference between the two fighters was exciting too. Before the fight, Daniel Dubois believed that it was his time to take the crown away from Anthony Joshua.
I don't understand. Well, I do, to be honest. He's had a momentous ride. He's been at the top for a long time, and I feel it's my time to just take that crown now, take that, and hold on to that world title for a while, and earn some of what he's earned, and get some of the the cream, the gold.
The 27-year-old Dubois said that he was ready to deliver a great performance with the boxing world watching as he defended his title belt for the first time in his career. Dubois said, "I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great night, and the world is going to be watching. So it's really up to me. I've built up a lot of momentum over the last two fights, so let's keep it going." Dubois believed that he was in the right frame of mind to defeat Joshua. He added, "I think it's at the right time now. I've had the experience and I've had the ups and downs. I was all over the place back then, 2 years ago. Now I'm more together and more secure in myself as a fighter." On the other hand, Anthony Joshua said that this match against Dubois in front of a jam-packed 96,000 audience in number would feel like he'd be fighting in the Coliseum as a gladiator.
Little do the people know in front of that big screen that you're waiting there. They know you're coming, but they don't know when you're coming. And then one of the production team say, "AJ, 10 seconds. And I say, "I'm ready." And they open that screen and I step out into 96,000 people roaring. And it's my gladiatorial moment when it's me versus one man in the ring to prove who the best is. And that's when I find it spine tingling. I'm like, let's go.
Joshua was confident heading into this fight, but also believed there was still room for improvement in terms of his boxing ability. He said, "My mentality is, if I draw a line and I put fear on one side and confidence on the other, but I'm still going into the ring, what one am I going to choose? I'm confident. I believe in myself, and I think that's the right mentality to have. Even though I'm home, it's not small. They've made it massive. I'm fighting a Queensberry fighter as well, so it's a new age for boxing. A golden era, if you ask me." Anthony Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn was optimistic that Joshua would defeat Daniel Dubois to win the heavyweight title a third time. But Hearn also understood that Dubois possessed a serious threat and that defeating his aggressive boxing style would require accuracy and precision. He stated, "If Dubois comes out like he did in the Hrgovic fight, Dubois could get flattened early. I think he'll get flattened, but Dubois is dangerous. You don't want to be trading with Daniel Dubois. Instead, you want accuracy, you want power. you want explosiveness, and you want to time him onto shots. But still, Eddie Hearn was confident in AJ and said that AJ would put on an absolutely great performance.
Only via text a couple of days ago. I'm going to go and see him next week. The word is looking sensational, but we'll see on September 21st. I'm very confident. I think he puts in a demolition job performance against Daniel Dubois.
Coming to what the pros said about this fight, Paulie Malignaggi believed Anthony Joshua would endure some tough moments against Daniel Dubois, but would do enough to win. He stated, "I lean towards AJ. He's got the experience and is fighting his best boxing right now, but it's a good fight. I could see AJ getting hurt or even going down and getting up to win, possibly. It's a fight, man. I don't think it lasts long, maybe 5 or 6 rounds. Dubois will show his worth, but I don't think he'll win. Joshua could defeat anyone, according to heavyweight contender Jerry Forrest. Joshua, despite his many titles, is a humble man who is always willing to learn something new, according to him. Jerry was confident Joshua would win if he continued to improve in this manner.
I got my money on Joshua versus anybody. Besides myself, I believe Joshua can beat anybody. Listen, he's the truth. He wants to get better. He's very receptive. He listens. He's a good guy. Even when I come into the gym, I'm not a world champion. He had all the titles. He's listening to me in the sense of, let's take the advice, so he's a humble guy that actually wants to get better in the sport. So if he keeps progressing, man, this guy may be around until he's 40 years old.
Jillia Zhang believed Dubois can get the job done. Zhang said, "I personally favor Daniel Dubois to pull this off because he is on the surge. He is hungry, he is young, and he has the fire in him. He had a beautiful knockout victory over Filip Hrgović last time, so I really have my faith in the underdog. We are literally 3 weeks away, and I believe he will shock the world." Malik Scott was backing Anthony Joshua to become a 3-time heavyweight champion when he faced Daniel Dubois. Scott, the trainer of former world champion Deontay Wilder, looked at the fighters in great detail, and he was insistent that Joshua can emerge victorious. He stated, "Joshua has a solid base, good boxing skills, and a great coach in Ben Davison. He's highly motivated and dangerous right now. I do think Dubois is trouble with that defense, but Dubois has surprised me lately, especially when he weathered the storms against Filip Hrgović and Jarrell Miller, but Joshua is just different. If I were a betting man, I'd put my money on Joshua stopping him between rounds 4 and 7. Even if all the pros believe Joshua has more expertise, Daniel could easily defeat any heavyweight in the world right now, according to trainer Shane McGuigan. Daniel, in his opinion, possessed the quickness and agility necessary. Dorian Darch lost by TKO in the second round to AJ, and 3 years later, he met the same end against Dubois in the same round. Considering that he faced both, Dorian discussed his thoughts on this fight. He stated, "In all fairness to Dubois, since the Joyce fight, he's got a lot tougher. I think he more or less gave up in that fight, but Hrgović caught him with loads of right hands and he kept fighting. But you can't take that many right hands against Joshua, he'll put you to sleep." He also compared the power of the two boxers, saying, "AJ's got one-punch knockout power, and Dubois, when he hit me, I've seen him knock out other boys out. He was hitting me down, but they weren't concussive punches, they were just bowling me over. Whereas AJ hit me in the temple, I lost my sense, my legs were gone." Duke McKenzie believed Daniel Dubois would upset Anthony Joshua. McKenzie, who has won 3 world titles in different weight classes, believed Dubois would stay the champion because of what he had seen in him. He stated, "I don't know if he's the people's favorite, and I don't know if he's the bookie's favorite, and I don't gamble, but if I did right now and I had to pick one person to win this particular fight, I'm slightly leaning towards Dubois." The same went for Maxie Hughes, who thought Daniel Dubois could upset Anthony Joshua dramatically. Although Hughes, the former IBO champion, was adamant that Dubois could win, he still believed that Joshua represented a huge step up for Dubois. "I'm going with the unpopular decision of backing Dubois. I've seen a lot of the interviews of other heavyweights talking about sparring them both and saying how hard Dubois is. He's gaining experience and coming off a very good win against Filip Hrgović. So, he'll be confident, and obviously Joshua will be confident coming off his win. I just feel like when Joshua does get hit, he can sometimes fall to pieces." Prince Nassim was in attendance for this fight. Knowing the importance of this fight for the UK's boxing scene, and being one of the greats coming from this area of the world, Prince Nassim said this about the fight.
The AJ, you know what? I think AJ wins, to be honest, by KO.
Ricky Hatton expected Anthony Joshua to become a 3-time heavyweight world champion. He stated, "I can only see Anthony Joshua winning. A lot of people will turn around and say it's an obvious statement, and we can all say as Joshua lands a punch on your chin, then he'll knock you out. But because he's happy now, not like when he fought Usyk and didn't look in a good place mentally when he lost the fight. He's with Ben Davison and is a very good thinking coach, a good tactician, and in his last few fights, he's known for being a heavy puncher, but he's added more fluency to his movement and his combinations of what he is letting go." Tony Bellew was less bullish about Dubois' prospects against Joshua and explained why he believed Joshua would win in 2 rounds. He stated, "Daniel must think I don't like him. I think he's a lovely kid, and I think he's a vastly improved fighter. The only thing is that everything he's good at, Anthony Joshua is better. I'll be amazed if it gets to round 3. I'll be shocked if it gets past 3 rounds, but if it does go past 3, then Daniel's durability, endurance, and fitness will really test Joshua. Make no mistake, Anthony Joshua is a better athlete, a better boxer, all that. In every department, he's a little bit better." Fabio Wardley was confident AJ would prevail against Daniel Dubois. He said, "I think AJ wins and I think AJ will stop him," said Wardley when speaking to Seconds Out. "When? Who knows? But I think he's big, he's strong. Not to say Daniel isn't at all, but I just think AJ's slightly sharper, been in the game a little bit longer, bit more used to the big stage." Joe Joyce was fully aware of what it takes to fight Daniel Dubois after defeating the current IBF heavyweight champion back in 2020. As well as going in with Dubois, Joyce had also spent time inside the ring with Anthony Joshua after sparring with the Watford man on multiple occasions. He said, "Raw power Dubois, but Joshua has that power too," said Joyce when speaking to Seconds Out. "It's maybe a bit quicker. I remember him putting the hands together a bit more. Dubois is improving as well, also we're going to have to see on the night." Carl Frampton claimed that this fight would be brutal because he believed that someone would get knocked out on the fight night. Given his greater experience over Dubois, AJ was the more popular and beloved candidate according to Frampton. However, Frampton also stated that he wouldn't be shocked if Dubois got his hand risen in opposition to AJ.
Coming through the adversity that he came through in his last 2 fights probably gives him more of a chance. I think that certainly AJ's the favourite. They're heavyweights and Dubois is brave. And what I can guarantee is someone gets knocked out. And I think someone probably gets knocked out in the first 6 rounds, if I'm being honest. You have to favour AJ, but wouldn't surprise me if Dubois does it. They're big men, big athletic men, and anything can happen.
Although Barry McGuigan didn't rule out Daniel, he insisted that Joshua would probably be too much for the 26-year-old. He felt that Daniel could knock out anyone, but Joshua was the clear favorite and a great boxer. Barry brought up Daniel's previous battle with Hrgovic, in which he struggled to hold his own against Hrgovic, but took advantage of the one chance he had and won. Daniel had the capacity to win, thus in his opinion, Joshua should have given him a chance. He stated, "The thing about Dubois is that Dubois can punch so hard that it only takes a split second. Having said that, Joshua is the favorite, but you have got to give Dubois a chance with anybody. He was losing to Hrgovic. Hrgovic was beating him comprehensively, and then that cut happened, and it was all over. But he has got a tremendous punch, and you have got to give him a chance with anybody. Again, I make Joshua the favorite. Joshua is the more complete fighter. He is better all round, he can box and fight, so I definitely think that Joshua will be too much for him. He, Dubois, has got a puncher's chance." Lawrence Okoli discussed 2 pivotal events in Dubois' career: his stoppage loss to Joe Joyce and his exciting yet unpredictable victory over Kevin Lerena. He stated, "We've seen it happen a few times with Dan. In the Joe Joyce fight and the Kevin Lerena fight, there were moments where you could spot a weakness in his armor. Despite all his strength and power, if you stay consistent, I think you can get the job done. And AJ, out of all the heavyweights, is known for his consistency. That's why I'm leaning towards him." Oleksandr Usyk freely admitted that he didn't like making predictions. Usyk explained why he backed Joshua to get the job done and become a 3-time heavyweight champion. Usyk declared, Joshua has improved a lot psychologically. Of course, I believe he will defeat Daniel Dubois. I hate predictions, but it is an Olympic champion against a UK champion. Anthony is a different level." Amir Khan said that he was very excited for this fight. He thought that people are underestimating Dubois, who could very much upset everyone on the fight night. Amir said, "I'm going to the fight, and I don't want to miss it because it's a good fight, a good matchup, and is an evenly matched fight. Both are powerful, strong, and you would say Anthony Joshua has the most experience. A lot of people will be favoring him, but don't blink. Don't think Daniel Dubois doesn't have the skill, power, and speed to win that fight. Look, Dubois is a very dangerous fighter. and he has put on a great fight in his last couple of fights. I feel that he's got a chance of winning this fight. Anthony Joshua has looked good in his last few fights, but I feel that Dubois has a good chance because he wants to be where Joshua is. Amir further said, "It's a really hard fight. It's who lands first. I think if Joshua lands with a good shot, he's got the attributes to finish Dubois. Both fighters have the power, speed, and everything to win the fight. But if Joshua boxes the way he won the last fight against Otto Wallen, which really impressed me, and it was punch perfect, that's what he needs to do. Stick to his boxing, sticks to his skills, hits and move, then I think that'll be the best Joshua and he can get the win that way. But if he gets into a brawl, this is where Dubois can start because he is a solid guy and hasn't been tested in that sense where he has been hurt." Adam Morley said that Dubois ought to be more resilient and powerful if he was able to raise his hands in the fight against AJ. He said that the youth could have also played a huge role on the fight night.
And in order to win the fight, he's got to be around and alive and strong from round like 9-10 onwards. And I think his superior youth may play its part at that point.
Jarrell Miller was fully aware of the quality possessed by Daniel Dubois after suffering a stoppage loss to the Brit last year. He said, "Dubois clearly has a better chin than AJ. I feel like it's going to come down to attrition and who's going to have the better game plan. I'm rooting for Dubois in this one." So what were your reactions to this fight? Who were you supporting to win? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.